Hugh Hefner's widow, Crystal Hefner, provides a somber account of life at the Playboy Mansion in her memoir Only Say Good Things, Surviving Playboy and Finding Myself, which was published in January 2017. During her nearly 5-year marriage to the renowned magazine publisher, who passed away in 2017 at the age of 91, she lived there for nearly 10 years. "I used to picture myself as Rapunzel, trapped in her tower and waiting for help. But no one ever did," Crystal wrote, detailing a toxic and very competitive environment in which she was forced to compete against other playmates by a domineering guy who controlled every aspect of her life, including the color of her nail polish. She went on, "I knew I was trapped, even though I didn't always know I needed to be rescued." Crystal is not the first to compare the renowned Playboy Mansion, a 22,000 square foot sprawl in Los Angeles that is well known for its extravagance and wild A-list parties, to a prison. However, on a May episode of the podcast Girls Next Level, which is hosted by Bridget Marquardt and Holly Madison, the stars of The Girl Next Door, as well as their visitor, Hugh's 34-year-old son Marston, attacked 38-year-old Crystal and her assertions. When Hugh's mental state deteriorated toward the end of his life, Marston went so far as to label her master manipulator and gold digger who forced him to rewrite his will. The severe charges have rekindled the long-running conflict between Bridget, 50, and Holly, 44, which started in 2009 when Holly and Hugh broke up and Crystal became Hugh's primary girlfriend. Now, Crystal claims Holly and Bridget are making fun of her and attempting to sabotage and pull apart my life in an exclusive interview for Us Weekly's cover story. She also says, "If I have a problem with someone, I'll go to them and talk to them. Clearly, all they want is attention." She adds that she believed she was friendly with Marston, who appeared as a guest on her since-cancelled podcast in November 2023. A source describing Crystal, Holly, and Bridget claims that they have never been friends. The insider continues, "Holly automatically hated Crystal. It seems like a witch hunt for her. I'm not the Holly of today." During one of her early appearances on The Girls Next Door, which lasted from 2005 to 2010, Crystal remarked, "She's the old me." Both Crystal and Holly have independently said in the years since the show's cancellation that they think the popular reality series intentionally sowed strife between them. According to the insider, their initial feud was over status at the mansion. Holly had a strong desire to become Mrs. Hefner. She was resentful. When Holly discussed the cutthroat relationships amongst women at the mansion in 2021, tensions between her and fellow The Girls Next Door alum Kendra Wilkinson increased. Kendra responded by saying she had moved on from the controversy. When Crystal publicly sided with Kendra, she further distanced herself from Holly. Using social media, Crystal stated, "I support Kendra in this. I'm not sure why these women who had such a unique and exceptional experience together can't get along. Perhaps for the same reasons that Holly and Bridget hate me for no apparent reason." Marston alleged that Crystal was power-obsessed and that she had control over who was allowed to enter and exit the mansion. He even claimed that she banished his father's lifelong acquaintances. Marston observed, "You knew to be a little scared sometimes, to stay on her bad side." According to the first source, Hugh's inner circle shrank as a result of Playboy budget cuts. The second source continues, saying, "Crystal was a true wife of the house, she could make the decisions, and had a lot of say. Nevertheless, Hugh was king of the castle, and, whoever he wanted to see, that's who he was around," according to Crystal. Furthermore, Crystal, when a woman speaks up, she's sometimes called controlling by people who can no longer control her and harsh, especially by people who stand to lose from her remaining silent. Regarding Marston's remarks that Crystal invited uninvited guests to Hugh's burial, Crystal responds, "I invited his office and his close friends. It was me who witnessed Hugh's demise, they did not. Marston stopped by, but his children weren't with him all the time. Hugh succumbed to sepsis, brought on by an E. coli infection at home." Crystal continues, "I was married to him. My closest friend was Heg." Marston further charged that during Hugh's unstable mental state, Crystal had gotten him to alter his will so she could get more money. Marston questioned, "He doesn't know where he is, why is he changing his King will?" Haig had an estate counsel, according to Crystal, who also notes that whatever Haig decided to do or change, that's up to him. In response to Martson's allegations that his father was dosed with F-King medication, Crystal clarifies that she doesn't take any prescription drugs herself. I make an effort not to. Supplements are what I'll take if I'm feeling sick. I object to all of it. Therefore, I wanted him to be involved with as little of that kind of activity as possible, she explains. I mean, it's sad to discredit this person that has one of the highest IQs in the world and just created this entire empire, Crystal continues, describing Hugh as very sharp. And then asserting that he lacks credibility and that nothing seems to have escaped him. Regarding the description Marston gave of Hugh, Crystal shows her melancholy. She remarks, "It seems to me that he is still very upset and in anguish from his relationship, or lack thereof, with his father. Additionally, there are certain issues that I believe he's attempting to resolve or find solutions for but is aware may never be resolved. Perhaps he is therefore filling in the blanks on his own." After learning about Holly, Bridget, and Marston's podcast, Crystal told us she didn't hold any grudges against them. He backpedaled on several claims, saying things were taken out of context, according to Crystal. She tells us, "I still see him as family," and she believes Marston is suffering from trauma resulting from his dysfunctional relationship with his father. He is obviously very hurt and in pain. One day, she hopes she, Holly, and Bridget will be able to sit down and talk, and maybe become friends. I hope we can all move past this and find harmony. I'm not resentful, she continues. You don't wish anyone harm when you're content and feeling good. Check out the exclusive video above and grab the most recent issue of Us Weekly, which is currently available on newsstands, for additional details on the rekindled Playboy feud.